managed to find. So, 到. So remember, again, here we have the modal verb that comes after the verb that you're trying to modify. So 揾到, 揾唔到, you can find, you can't find. Okay? All right, so those will be some of the main modals that you're going to come across in daily life. And so after that, I thought it'd be interesting to do a comparison of the three cans that we had a look during the lesson. So, for example, we have 可以識 and 到. So 我唔可以揸車，我唔識揸車 and 我揸唔到車. All of these translate back to English as I can't drive. But they mean something slightly different. Can you differentiate them based on what we've discussed so far? Okay, so let's not keep everyone in suspense and just move on to the explanation portion of this video. So continuing, so 我唔可以揸車. This implies something to do with permission, in my opinion. So 我唔可以揸車 could imply I can't drive. I'm not able to drive because maybe I had my license suspended. I just drank alcohol, so I can't drive, or something like that, right? So 我唔可以揸車. I probably should not. I can't drive. And the second one, 我唔識得, I think this is a little bit more straightforward, because the I can't drive here would be more precisely expressed as I don't know how to drive. So this implies capability or knowledge. So I do not have the knowledge. I do not have the capability of driving because I haven't learned before. Okay. And the last one is 我揸唔到車. So this is where it gets a little bit confusing because there's a certain overlap, I think, with the first one. So 我揸唔到車 would be I can't drive because of some external factors, some sort of circumstances. So for example, I can't drive maybe because I hurt my foot, or maybe because I for some reason that completely prevents me from being able to drive. I'm very sleepy, didn't get enough sleep, so I probably shouldn't drive and I can't drive. Okay. So as you can see, there's probably a bit of an overlap between 我唔可以揸車 and 我揸唔到車. So don't worry too much about it. If ever in doubt, as usual, you can always consult a native speaker. You can always leave a question, comment at the bottom of this post or this YouTube video, wherever you're watching this. And yeah, just ask. And I think that's all the time we have for today. Don't forget to check out the post that comes with it at cantolounge.com/Cantonese-modals. There are even more examples and more sections that I simply did not have time to include in this video, or I thought I shouldn't include in this video because it would get too long. So I highly recommend you guys check it out. All right, and that's all for today. Please give it a good old thumbs up to this video if you found it helpful and if you want to see more videos in the future. And as usual, if you have any questions or comments, I welcome them. Please leave them below, and I look forward to hearing what you think about this video. All right, that's it for today. Thank you so much for joining me here, and I look forward to speaking with you guys once again in the next lesson. All right, cheers, thank you, and I will see you guys next time. Cheers. All right, welcome back. 大家好，歡迎返嚟收睇 Lesson 13 of this Cantonese grammar series and today's lesson, excuse me, will be on Cantonese modals. A bit of a cryptic word, but we will demystify everything along the way in this video. All right, so let's get started. And before we do, however, if you haven't already done so, please make sure that you subscribe to this channel by hitting the subscribe button underneath the video. If you're watching this on YouTube, if not, then go to YouTube and subscribe. And then don't forget to hit the alert button afterwards as well to receive the latest updates from Cantolounge. All right, that is that, and you'll see an icon like that. There we go. Okay, so today's lesson will be kind of examples heavy, and at this point, you guys will probably feel a bit of a shift from the previous format that we had in previous lessons to what we're going to have now. Because what we're going to discuss from this point onwards is going to feel a lot less like grammar and a lot more like vocabulary under, a specific category. And unfortunately or fortunately, that's just how Chinese grammar is. It's not because Chinese grammar, there are no conjugations and there are no declinations like you have with the Romance or the Slavic languages, or even with other Asian languages like Japanese or Korean. So it feels a lot more like vocabulary after a certain point in time, but these are still really important words, okay? So I would highly encourage you to learn them and treat them like any other important grammar point. And so yeah, be prepared to for this deluge of examples. So before we begin, though, let's have a look at what modals are, because it's not really that common of a word. So modals are, in a nutshell, they're words that allow you to express moods. And I think that if you learn any Romance languages, if you've learned a Romance language before, like French or Spanish, or I think Italian has them as well, I'm not sure, then it's typically associated with the subjunctive, right? And these are things that you want to express, like things like wishes, recommendations, emotions, doubt. These expressions might sound familiar. Subjunctive and j'exige que, j'espère que, I insist that, I hope that in French, and we have es posible que, dudo que, it's possible that, I doubt that, and these are all followed by the subjunctive. And these words, es posible, dudo, these words are effectively called modal verbs, verbs that express moods. That kind of makes sense, right? And so we're going to have a look at how to express some of these words in Cantonese today. Okay, so as you can probably imagine, vocabulary-oriented lesson. Okay, so let's get started. Number one, we have 會. And in a previous lesson, we have already talked about 會 before. And so the first use, the most common use of 會 would be to express the future. So it's literally a direct translation of will. Like, for example, we have 我陣間會去圖書館揾一本書. I'll go to the library later to find a book. I will, 我會. Easy enough. However, there are two other additional usages of 會 I'd like to point out. The second one here is in expressing would. This is probably equivalent to the conditional tenses in Romance languages, or just would. I think in English it's just viewed as a modal. And yeah, so you can just think of it as a direct mapping of would in English and 會 in Cantonese. So here in this example we have 呢句嘢excuse me 用廣東話我唔會咁樣表達. So this sentence using Cantonese, I would probably not express it like that, right? Which fairly straightforward still. And next, the third usage of 會, I think we've also mentioned this before in, I think, the lesson on the present tense. And this particular usage is used to refer to habitual occurrences, things that happen regularly, right? So for example, in this here we have 陳太每個禮拜六都會約班朋友打麻雀. And so Mrs. Chan every Saturday meets up with friends to play mahjong. So as you can see, this translates back to meets up. So there's no special tense here in English, But because this is habitual, this happens every Saturday, we would use 會 as well. So got to be careful. It's not just for the future. You can also use it to express habitual things and also the conditional, would. Okay, so that's the first modal we're going to have a look at. The second one here would be 可以. So we're diving into cans. Yay. 可以 means to be able to, or can, very simply. So for example, you can pretty much just use it the same way you would in English. So here we have 你可唔可以借個筆刨俾我用下? So you cannot lend me a pencil sharpener to use. Right? Fairly straightforward. So that was that. And number 3, we're going to have a look at識.識means to know how to do something. So here in this example, we have 我雖然唔識講英文，但係我而家竭盡全力去填補知識嘅缺陷。Bit of a fancy way of saying try my best to learn. So I, even though do not know how to speak English, right? So 識講 already includes know how to, right? So the how to does not need to be translated. 但係 but I now do my best to fill in knowledge gaps, right? So you can read the English translation. That makes a little bit more sense. And I think that's it. Yeah, it's fairly straightforward. Number 4 will be 能夠. Now 能夠 also means can, right? But unlike the previous 可以, 能夠 is used more in a written context or simply in more formal occasions. Like for example, sometimes you watch the news and you hear politicians, civil servants speak, then you'll hear them maybe using 能夠. They want to sound more formal, or maybe someone who just prefers talking in a more formal way. So it's not the most important word, but it's still kind of important to know at the very least. So here's an example. Okay, so slightly more complex, but it's just vocab. I think we have all the grammar down, so don't worry about it. 能夠體恤市民 excuse me, 生活上嘅問題係當官應該具備最基本嘅素質. So to be able to empathize citizen life problems is being an officials should have most fundamental quality. Isn't Cantonese fun? It's such a literal language. So there we go. 能夠. So for more formal occasions or simply in a written context. Alright, so moving on. Next we have 應該. 應該 means very simply should. Right? And if you're thinking about, so how would I translate should? Is there some sort of a tense or something? Again, Cantonese does not have tenses, only special words that indicate certain moods or, certain nuances, I guess. So, for example, here we have, this is an example I like. 耶穌曾經講過，我哋應該愛人如己. So Jesus once said, we should love thy neighbor as thyself. 愛人如己 is like one of those 4-letter combinations, and these are fixed, so you can't really try to pry them apart. And then you can just learn them as this, right? So this is a pretty nice little phrase that you can add, hopefully, to your repository vocab. Okay, and that is that. Number 6, we have 想 and 想要. So these ones both mean want. So for example, 想 simply means want to do something. Here we have 我唔係唔想學德文，但係我都係決定而家唔係時候去學. So I am not want to learn German. So it's not that I don't want to learn German, which makes more sense. But I also decide now not time to learn, right? So there you go. 想學 to want to learn. Fairly straightforward. And 想要 is like a more specific nuance. 想要 is like want to have something, right? So here in this example we have 如果你想要嗰對波鞋，我建議你兼職打工儲錢去買。So if you want to have that pair of sneakers, I recommend that you part-time work, save money to buy. Okay, so that's that. Okay, moving on. Number 7, you. You can actually have two main nuances. The first one in this example is to have or must. And sometimes you will see it used with 一定, yeah, which strengthens the tone. So for example, here we have 出去外國去旅行嗰陣，一定要買齊保險先至好去。So go out abroad to travel when must buy insurance before going. Right? So that is that. And the second nuance is something that you'll hear often when you're in like an establishment of some sort. You're in a shop, you're in a restaurant, and the people there, they're serving you, and they're saying, "Is this what you want?" Like for example, here a waiter at the restaurant might ask, 你係要吉列豬扒個套餐定係蒲燒鰻魚飯嘅呢? Maybe you just wanted to confirm your order. So you want the tonkatsu or the fried pork cutlet set or the grilled eel set. All right, and that is that. Moving on. Did I not increment? Oh, I did. Sorry. Number 8. So we have 需要 and 唔使. So 需要 means need, and 唔使 means don't need. Or you can simply say 唔需要, but 唔使 is also possible. Okay. So for example, here we have 你想喺香港長住嘅話，就需要掌握好廣東話、普通話同埋英文. So if there's an implied if here because there's 嘅話, as you can see, if you want in Hong Kong long live, so live here for a long time, then you need to grasp Cantonese, 普通話 or Mandarin, and English well. Okay, fairly straightforward, I think. And in this example, we have a negative one. 你唔使咁辛苦攞住咁重嘅嘢周圍走㗎。You don't have to, you don't need to, this hard, take such heavy things, walk around. Okay, makes sense. Again, fairly straightforward, I think. Moving on. Number 9, which is 希望. Oh, good lord, this is, it brings back lessons in French, the subjunctive, j'espère que. Anyway, so, for example, here we have, 天下所有嘅爸爸媽媽都希望俾最好嘅自己啲仔女. So, in the world, all dads and moms, all parents, all hope to give the best to their own children, right? Fairly straightforward as well. I mean, there's not really a lot here. I mean, these are just examples to show you how these words are used. And you can kind of see that they're not all that different than how they're used in English. In that sense, I feel like Cantonese is closer to English than French or Spanish or Japanese or Korean. Those are quite far away, actually. I mean, syntax-wise and word order-wise, very close to English. Okay, so getting back to this. Number 10, we have 準. 準 means to be allowed to. So for example here, 學校而家連帶電腦都唔準. So the school now even bring laptop also not permitted. Okay. Or yep, there we go. And number 11 we have 肯 or 制. 肯 or 制 both mean like to be willing to. And so look at some examples. 如果你自己唔肯付出努力嘅話，就算我肯幫你都冇用。So if you yourself not willing to put out the effort, then even if I am willing to help you, no use. Okay. And number 12, 願意. 願意 also means to be willing to, but there's actually a subtle difference between 肯 and 願意. 願意 is like you're willing to do something wholeheartedly, you know, it's positive, it comes from a very positive standpoint. And so yeah. But 肯 implies may or may not imply that you are willing to do something maybe because you're forced or you're willing to do it maybe somewhat reluctantly, right? So for example here, 我願意嫁俾你. So I do, right? You'd say 我願意 instead of 我肯 because 我願意 is like you're willing to do it wholeheartedly, you know, it's full of positive emotions and you're just really committed to it, whereas 肯 is like, yeah, even if I marry you, that's fine, that's cool. So you probably don't want to use 肯 when saying such an important thing. So there is a difference, subtle difference between the two. All right, so moving on. Number 13. Oh, did we... Oh, I'm sorry, I made a typo there. So number 14, I think. Is that right? No, 13. 敢. I forgot to change it. So 敢 means to dare to. Again, that brings back memories. J'ose faire quelque chose. 我唔係唔敢跳降落傘，我係唔可以做呢啲高危嘅運動。So it's not like I don't dare to skydive. It's more like I can't 唔可以 do high risk sports for whatever reason, right? So again, fairly straightforward. This pretty much the same thing as how you'd use it in English. All right, continuing. Number 14 is 寧願, and this is a really useful expression or connector, whatever you can call it, just word. And I would highly recommend that you guys learn this. It means I would do this. I'd rather something than something. That's right. So for example, we have 我寧願死都唔願意食一桶鼻屎. I'd rather die than to eat a bucket of boogers. And if you're wondering where this example came about, I was watching a random video on YouTube the other day, and it was like, yeah, I think it was a YouTuber doing a Q&A segment, and it's like, oh, would you rather die or like eat a bucket of boogers? So there we go. The inspiration behind these sentences. All right, so continuing. Number 15, we have 得. 得 is to be able to, can as well, but it carries more the nuance of like you're permitted to, you know. So for example, in this example, we have 呢杯香檳飲得，但係擺喺個VIP 個部分嘅酒精全部都唔可以倒。So this champagne can drink, but put over VIP section alcohol all cannot touch, right? So it's okay even if you drink this, so you are permitted, it's okay, you can drink this champagne, but stuff in the VIP section are completely off limits. Okay, and oh yeah, just remember the word order, right? So here we have 得 that comes after the verb you want to modify, complement. All right, and number 16 we have 倒, and remember guys here, don't forget the tone, because this is a multi-tone word, I think heteronym in English, and so this is pronounced 倒 or 倒 in certain cases, but the sense that we're concerned with here is 倒, right? And 倒 means can as well, to be able to. And so at this point, you might wonder, so, okay, so we've had a look at several cans. So what's the difference? Okay, no worries. Just slow down there. We're getting to that. So in this example, we have 我頭先揾咗好耐都揾唔到《和平與戰爭》呢本書。So I just now was trying to find a long time and cannot find Peace and War, this book, right? So couldn't manage